All right, let's dive into one of the most incredible stories on our planet. We're talking about Surtsey, an island off the coast of Iceland that really has no business even being there. It's one of the absolute youngest places on Earth. No, seriously, just stop and think about that for a second. There's a really good chance that you are older than this entire island. This isn't some ancient landmass that explorers just found. This is a place that scientists watched get born, literally right before their very eyes. So how did it happen? Well, Surtsey's story doesn't start with a whisper. It starts with a massive, fiery roar. It's an epic tale of the raw power of our planet just creating something brand new out of absolutely nothing. Okay, so picture this. You're a fisherman off the Icelandic coast. It's November 1963. You look out and you see this giant plume of black smoke just billowing up from the sea. What's your first thought? It's got to be a ship on fire, right? But as you get closer, you realize there's no ship there at all. What those fishermen were actually seeing was the very beginning of an underwater volcanic eruption, kicking off 130 meters below the waves. And it happened so fast. In just a matter of days, that volcano had spit out enough ash and lava to pile up until it physically broke the surface of the ocean, creating a brand new island where there was only water just a few days before. So, for a birth this fiery and this epic, you need a pretty cool name, right? They called it Surtsey, named after Surtur, who is this awesome fire giant from Norse mythology. I mean, what a perfect name for a piece of land that was forged in volcanic fire. Now, here's where the story takes a really fascinating twist. This brand new piece of our planet appears, and almost immediately it becomes a place that is almost completely forbidden to humans. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. Surtsey was basically declared one of the most restricted nature reserves on the entire planet. There are no tours, no tourists, nothing. Only a very, very small group of approved scientists are ever allowed to step foot on it. So you have to ask, right? Why? Why go to all the trouble of making this new island completely off limits? What's so special about this barren piece of rock? Well, scientists immediately realized they'd been handed this unbelievable gift, a perfect, real-time experiment. This was their chance to watch how life colonizes a totally sterile, brand new place, starting from absolute zero. We're talking no soil, no seeds, no bugs, nothing. It was a perfect window to see how nature works without us humans getting in the way, and keeping it that way was absolutely crucial. And what did they see in this perfect, pristine laboratory? Something completely amazing. They got to watch, step by step, as life began its slow but super determined march to claim this new world. So who was the first pioneer? Who got there first? You might think a tough bird or some kind of resilient plant, but nope. The very first living creature to arrive on Surtsey, just 2 years after it formed, was a tiny midge, basically a small fly, that was just blown there by the wind. Talk about a small start to a new world. So after that first little insect showed up, life started arriving in 3 main ways. First, you had more tiny creatures just blown ashore by the wind. Then, hardy seeds started washing up on the beach, carried across the ocean by the currents. And finally, the birds arrived. The very first one they saw was a seagull, which, acted like a tiny little gardener, spreading seeds through its droppings and really kickstarting plant life on the island. And the results? They have been absolutely incredible. In less than 60 years, which is just a blink of an eye, geologically speaking, over 70 different species of plants have managed to take root and are now thriving on what used to be just a pile of volcanic ash. So today, you've got this vibrant little ecosystem that's popped up from those 3 main ingredients. From those first seeds, you now have all this thriving plant life. From that one little midge, you now have a whole growing insect population. And from that one seagull, you now have entire colonies of birds, including the iconic puffin, that call Surtsey home. But here's the thing. This incredible natural experiment, it has an expiration date. The very same forces of nature that created Surtsey are now threatening to wash it all away, putting scientists in a serious race against time. Right now, Surtsey is this priceless, living laboratory. But the constant, powerful pounding of the North Atlantic waves is causing it to erode, and fast. The island has already lost about half of its original size, and the prediction is that one day it will be lost to the waves completely. That's why the work they're doing there is so important. Surtsey is this unique, temporary chance to see it all happen. It's a place where we can literally watch the basic processes of life, colonization, the birth of an ecosystem, evolution, happening in slow motion. It's like having a living, breathing textbook that shows us how our world really works. But Surtsey's clock is ticking. It's this temporary miracle that holds all these clues to the very origins of life on new land. And it makes you wonder, what other amazing secrets are we going to learn from this impossible island before it disappears back into the sea?